Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What's going on out there, peeps? All right, a couple of good news articles have come out again. This about the Iraqi Stock Exchange, the economy in Iraq, as well as proof to those individuals who swear up and down that the Iraqi dinar will never RV. I will give you proof that the Iraqi dinar has RV'd, all right? So let's get going, shall we? Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. For those of you who swear up and down that the Iraqi dinar will never RV, here is your proof. It has RV'd a few times in the past few years. You can see right here in 2020, you would get 1,190 dinars for every dollar. Then it devalued, and you would get 1,460 dinars for every dollar. Then it revalued, and we were getting 1,320 dinars for every dollar. These are called revalues. People jump up and down, swearing that the RV will never happen when it's happened a few times over the last few years. There is your proof that, yes, indeed, the Iraqi dinar will RV.
Well, we're moving on up.
Yeah, somebody's moving on up. Iraq's economy is the 52nd largest in the world. CEO World, a leading business magazine, reported on Monday that Iraq will have the 5th largest economy in the Arab world and the 52nd largest in the world in 2024. Despite mounting concerns about rising costs, the United States continued to maintain its status as the world's greatest economy with a staggering gross domestic product of $28.78 trillion. China follows the United States with a considerable GDP of $18.54 trillion. Remember, China keeps swearing up and down they're going to catch the United States. Well, they got a ways to go. 10 more trillion and they'll catch us. Germany has solidified its position as Europe's economic leader with a GDP of $4.59 trillion, relying on its industrial component and robust exports. Japan ranks 4th, India ranks 5th, one of the fastest rising countries whose GDP now reaches $3.94 trillion. So congrats to Iraq, who's moving on up. More good news about the Iraqi Stock Exchange, which is another indicator for a strong economy. Iraq Stock Exchange index rises by 2.8% in July, the second week. And this has been consistently happening now for some time for Iraq. Which, as a reminder, if you're thinking about getting involved in the Iraqi Stock Exchange, give Wise Investments a call at 850-520-2693. Tell them Pimpy sent you. And they can help get you started in investing into Iraqi stocks. The Iraq Stock Exchange announced on Thursday that trading indicators rose after transactions in the second week of July were completed. The Iraqi Stock Exchange mentioned in a statement that it's organized 4 trading sessions during the second week of the current month, according to the news. A statement clarified that the number of traded shares exceeded 3 billion, with a value surpassing 3 billion Iraqi dinars, approximately $2.29 million. But look at the amount of trades taking place. It's starting to get very active. The trading index and the ISX 60 for the first session of the week closed at 878.45 points. And at the end of the week, it closed at 904.16 points, representing an increase of 2.84% compared to the first session. More than 2,227 sales and purchase contracts were concluded on shares of companies listed on the Iraqi Stock Exchange in the same period. The Iraq Stock Exchange announced early this shares valued at over 671 billion dinars, or approximately $508 million were traded in 2023, and it continues to grow at a fast pace. According to the market report, 237 trading sessions on shares on joint stock companies were organized during the past year, representing an increase of 0.4% compared to the number of trading sessions organized in 2022. The report revealed approximately 689.62 billion shares, worth $508 million, had been traded in 2023. This report also noted that concluded sales and purchase contracts reached 155,920, representing 15% increase compared to 2022. Looking good for Iraq. Oh, this is big news right here. Look at this. Iraq's non-oil revenues, been talking about this for the longest time. This has got to increase. It's usually around 4%, but look at this. Iraq's non-oil revenues reach 11% for the first time. Yay! Do the peepee dance. Do the peepee dance. Iraq's Future Foundation announced on Thursday that Iraq's non-oil revenues reached 11% for the first time, with oil revenues declining to less than 90%. It's about dang time, Iraq. Finally, we're starting to see some improvement. A report issued by the IFF mentioned the non-oil revenues during the first 5 months of 2024 were 6.24 trillion Iraqi dinars, while revenues generated from oil exports reached 48.4 trillion Iraqi dinars, nearly 37 billion, the news reported. According to the report, revenues generated from the income and wealth taxes jumped by 118%, while revenues from excise duties increased by 285%. Fee revenues increased by 50%, while oil revenues increased by 6.4%. Iraq's continuous dependence on oil as a primary source of general revenue is a risky issue, as oil prices are influenced by global crises that arise from time to time. Iraq borrows from outside and inside to cover its deficit, demonstrating the country's incapacity to adequately manage public funds and identify other financial resources, but that's not the case. It's now at 11% for the first time ever. And that is great news for Iraq and those people who are invested in Iraq. Anyways, I just thought I would share the great news with you. Tell me down below what you think, and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.